Hi, everyone, and welcome to an episode of Trident Talks, the RSA series. I'm Josh, the co-founder of Trident, and today I'm joined by Josh, also co-founder of StrongestLayer.
Thank you, Josh. Great to be here.
Thanks for joining. Josh, do you want to start off by giving kind of some context and some background, or some context on your background, and kind of how you got into cyber? And
Yeah, of course. So I've been in cyber ever since I left university in Belfast in Northern Ireland in 2011. I think I had my first job in cyber a week before graduation, and it was with a small Belfast-based email security company called Mail Distiller, and we eventually sold the company to Proofpoint in 2013, and then I was at Proofpoint for a long time, building out email security products, and then was fortunate enough to be offered the position of senior product person at FireEye, building out their email security products. Ended up running product management for FireEye for email security, and then was offered the opportunity to run product for threat intelligence on the Mandiant side of FireEye, which is really interesting, and learned a lot about threat intelligence from some of the best practitioners in the world of Mandiant, and then went to Google with the acquisition, and left I think over a year ago now to found StrongestLayer and solve something that's very close to my heart.
Awesome, thank you for the context. So let's bring it up to today then. So StrongestLayer, what is the business? What are you guys kind of solving as a challenge that you're seeing out there? Kind of who's the founding team?
Yeah, so we have a super strong founding team, folks with years of experience in different parts of cyber, and specifically email security. So our co-founder and CEO, Alan Lafort, was a GM at Proofpoint, McAfee, building out security awareness products, email security products. Spent some time on the consumer side as well. Our other co-founder, Mohammed Rizwan, was at FireEye for a very long time, pioneering the sandboxing technology that made FireEye such an impactful vendor in the space. Obviously, we know my background, and we have some founding team members as well that were part of the initial adventure into using AI in the context of cybersecurity. So we're very fortunate to have a super strong team with a very strong pedigree in email security, detection, and AI. The reason we exist is because the problem of phishing, it feels like we've been banging this drum for a very long time. Since I started in 2011, it's simply not going away. 90% of breaches are still caused by phishing, even in 2025. It feels like I've been saying a number similar to that for a very long time. So something's been broken, and tools, security tools, technologies just are struggling to keep up with the shifting tactics and techniques that attackers are using. So we are out to solve this problem by building a next generation email security and human risk platform that's built on our LLM detection architecture. The key thing to note is that we've trained this detection architecture to reason like an expert security analyst that's just infinitely multiplied across your organization, fully integrated into Office 365 and Google Workspace. So it's like picking up a 1,000 security analysts, expert analysts, and putting it into your organization. So these large language models are trained to reason like humans. And we believe that in the AI era, with such a significant jump in attacker capabilities, every petty cyber criminal can now profile everyone within your organization by using large language models. Like Josh, we can create a profile on you.
Let's not do that.
Yeah, either based on what the internet knows about you, and then we can train unique 0-day phishing attacks to target you and everyone in your organization. So that's the new world that we're living in, and it's going to take machines that are able to reason like humans to stop those net new 0-day patient zero attacks hitting employees.
Awesome. I love that. So just picking apart a few things there very quickly. So the kind of native LLM infrastructure and architecture that you've built, right?
Yeah.
Are you finding, or have you seen, you guys have been in the world of big email security providers. Is it just the lack of innovation there because they're so big, or because the architecture is designed, but like it's so hardened in that in the old way of operating that it's hard for them to keep up with what you guys are doing and you're innovative, you're agile, like
Yeah.
classic startup?
Yeah, I think a lot of very established organizations in this space are full of wonderfully skilled individuals, but
Yeah.
I think with larger companies, you just have that natural inertia that would set in to rigorous processes, the macroeconomic climate as well, with needing to cut costs and focus on bottom lines, often at the arguably at the expense of innovation. So I think that's where we've able to really leap ahead in terms of detection. We were lucky enough to launch this organization, this technology around the birth of large language models. We've got the right people in that are really interested in solving problems with that tech. They know the power of this tech, and that's really been the start of StrongestLayer, which is we've been able to build out this detection capability on a base of tech that would take larger organizations significant resources and time to implement. So that's kind of luck of the draw, but also having the right folks in at the right time that know the problem that has to be solved and can use large language models to do that.
Yeah.
If you look at, there's a really interesting stat that I was reading about a couple of months ago that kind of stuck with me, is that 85% of security analysts put the increase of successful phishing attacks down to AI being adopted by cybercriminals. So
Of course.
a trend you'll see in cyber is that attackers will adapt their tactics and techniques to evade existing detection tooling. So the fact that attackers are doing this kind of says a lot about where the existing market is in terms of email security and detection.
Yeah, very true. It's a good point, because I was going to bring some of that up actually as a final kind of conclusion here around the sophistication or the lack of, like, you don't need to be a sophisticated threat actor because you've got all your threat intelligence done, right? All your reconnaissance, and then so you're equipped and armed to then actually go and do an attack en masse like we've never seen before. But then the sophistication of that attack is so good now. We're seeing it all the time in terms of the phishing attempts, and like it's so timely, it's so realistic that everybody and anybody can be a victim, regardless of who you think you are, right? So it's not going away, and that 80-90% number is just going to get worse and worse because it's an easy in for them, isn't it? It's the easiest access point.
Exactly. So for those people that are watching or listening to this that are familiar with the MITRE framework, you have MITRE attack, MITRE pre-attack. MITRE pre-attack is all around reconnaissance and weaponization. That now can be automated on a significant scale with what the internet knows about you. Everyone's sharing details on social media, on LinkedIn. Folks are doing blogs. They're appearing like this on webinars. This is all going up. This is all being fed into large language models that have access to the internet. So it's extremely easy now to profile a large number of victims at massive scale. So in terms of the MITRE framework, recon and weaponization is taken care of.
It's done. Yeah.
It's done. And then once it goes into initial access, right, to deliver exploit control, it's so hard to detect attacks that have never been seen before. Large existing vendors in this space rely so heavily on protecting patient 1 over patient 0. In the AI era, everyone's patient 0. Everyone's receiving unique phishing attacks tailored for them.
Yeah, so it's like spear phishing, but en masse, which we haven't seen before.
Supercharged spear phishing on steroids.
Yeah, that's a that we'll see that RSA. That's a marketing line. Obviously that I'm sure.
It is.
So fast forward then. So we're a week away from RSA. You and the team are going?
Yeah. We're all going as founders, and we have some of our core employees joining us as well in North America for RSA. But we would, like everyone at RSA, your schedule gets pretty packed the minute you land. All right, but we are very keen to meet folks in the in cybersecurity. Please feel free to reach out to me or my team, the co-founders on LinkedIn, and we'd love to go and grab a coffee.
Awesome. Josh, we'll post some links as well at the bottom of here so people can contact you and your LinkedIn URL. Appreciate it. Thank you for your time. It's been good to speak.
Yep, Josh, my pleasure. Thanks so much.